Today's department is the entrepreneur department. I have my friend Nehemiah Davis, who is a 8-figure entrepreneur, has about 1 million followers across social media, running the city of Atlanta. An honor that I can call you friend and homie, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, bro.
This idea of making $1 million is such a entrepreneur's first goal.
Do a workshop every single week. What this is going to do is going to make you become a better speaker. It made me become a better marketer. And reason why you got to become a better marketer, because you're doing the same thing every single week and you got to get new people to show up. So your content got to get better. You got to come up with new marketing strategies for people to show up to this event, right? You don't need 1 million people. You don't need 1,000 people. It's unlikely that most people are going to get up and speak in front of 1,000 people on the stage.
I think people want the stage too. Create your own stage.
No one will put me on the stage. Turn on your phone on Instagram, go live, and you on stage. So my biggest mistake in business is not sticking with continuity. You should focus so much energy on getting people to pay you a monthly recurring payment. This one thing has done more for me than anything else.
Thank you for being on the department.
Hey, I'm excited, bro. You always fresh, bro. I'm about to tell you that. You always stylish, bro.
Did I try?
Yeah.
You know,
Brand.
I give, it does matter. Yeah, it's brand. Yeah. But shout out to Kanye. Growing up, I was wearing pop collars and everything. I did the whole thing. But dude, you are somebody who people look at when they think about starting businesses. You've even helped people become millionaires, and that's kind of like the season you're in.
Yeah.
And so
a lot of people.
This idea of making $1 million is such a entrepreneur's first goal.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I've been a part of making millions of dollars. I personally haven't hit that. Last year was awesome. I probably did close to 500.
Yeah. You're gonna do it this year. I see
the path.
I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. Yeah. But you said something, and I'll talk about it if we talk about making $1 million at some point. But I think it's better to be a part of someone else doing it, because you're able to do it a little bit easier. Because you got a framework now. You got a blueprint versus just having to come figure it out from scratch.
Yeah. Do you remember that first year you did $1 million?
Yeah, I do. I think my first year that I did was, I want to say I did a webinar every week, like straight. And
wow.
I just stuck with it. And that was the first year. I'm like, oh, okay, this works. But I heard Russell Brunson say it, and I just stuck with it, man. And I don't know how many years, this is a long time ago. I just doubled down on it.
See, what a price point did you sell during that webinar?
So
at that time,
I'm starting to think now that I say that, I wonder it was $1,000. Yeah, $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you just sold 1,000 of 1,000.
1,000 of them, yeah.
Okay, so you did talk about this blueprint, and like you've seen it now multiple times. And what I wanted to really talk about, because I feel like you can.
And it was
so
a mix too, because I was selling digital products. I think I was doing a bunch of things.
Oh, okay, cool. So like low ticket and
webinar, yeah.
Dude, fire. So yeah, what would you say is that like base level blueprint? Somebody is listening or watching this, and they're like, I want to make $1 million. Like, what the heck do I do?
Am I able to share two, or
dude?
Because
run it.
I feel like it's two different things that I would do. My very first thing I would do, I don't need brand, I don't need money, like I don't need any of those things. My very first thing that I would do is I'm going to learn sales. I'm going to learn as much as I can about sales. I'm going to go study YouTube. I may listen to Hormozy, Alak, myself, like Grant Cardone. Like, I'm going to go commit to learning as much as I can about sales. Then I'm going to go find Omar. I'm going to go find the Nehemiah. I'm going to go find somebody, and literally, and I'm only telling you this, I physically did this for one of my business partners. I'm like, bro, you got this amazing thing he was doing, and this just, I've never told this story, and I don't even know if I can tell it, but I'll just kind of give you guys. So he used to do this thing called a ride along. He'll put like 2-3 people in his car. He's great at real estate, and just ride around. It's like $100 or something. I'm like, bro, what you're doing is incredible. Like, you are crushing it. Do you mind me selling it for you? Right? I'm like, what do you make with the 3 people? Say, I will make $500. I'm like, do you mind me selling this for you? He's like, sure, give it a shot. I post something on the social. I took a sales call for him, right? and I sold it for 1,000.
Oh, dang. The same thing.
The same thing. Then I did it again and again and again. And I said, bro, and the dope thing is you still get what you're getting.
Right.
But you don't have, it's not from 3 people. It's now from 1 person. And I said, now we just split it 50-50. We're partners. And that's been ever since.
Dang.
So I say all that to say, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find an entrepreneur, business owner. It don't even got to be an entrepreneur that does coaching. Anybody that's selling a product, I'm going to see how I can make the product better, improve the product, and then increase the cost of the product. Where if it was a no-brainer for him to let me sell the product if he can make double. He's making double what he was making off the product after I still get half.
I love that.
You serve more people. He was serving 2-3 people. Now we can serve 30, 40, 50 people in one day.
Yep.
Right? And sell this service and we split it. So I'm going to go find an entrepreneur. I'm going to figure out how to add the most value to them. And I'm going to help them create a product that's $1,000 to $5,000 product. And I'm going to start getting on the phones and selling it. Now, most of them probably won't give you 50%.
Yeah.
But I'm going to work to negotiate 20%. So, for example, and this is a shameless plug for you, really. Sorry, it's your platform. So, like, you come set up people office, whatever it costs. Like, the experience is A1. It's the best experience. Like, the look, like I'm telling people all the time, like, yo, you need to deal with this guy. He'll set that office up. It's going to look crispy. Let's say it's 10,000. I'm throwing numbers out, and it's cheap for somebody listening. I'm like, oh, let's figure out how the way to make this 15 because big brands can afford it. It makes sense, but I want to get 20% of that.
Yeah.
If you were selling it for under that number, you're still going to make more. You're still going to make more by giving me 20% and you do less because I'm going to sell it on your behalf.
That's good.
So if we're at 15K, I'm making this up and we're going to give me 20%. I'm going to take 3%. I'm going to take 3,000 of that. You're still getting more than what you were making at the price point that it was selling at. I'm now making 3,000. Now, this is probably harder at scale because you're physically going to go do it. So it could be just a coaching program for 15K as well. But let's say it's a coaching program. All right, at 15K, if I'm making 3,000, it's $1 million divided by 3,000. Let's see what that is.
Are you looking to take your content more serious this year in your business or your brand? Or maybe you're looking to figure out better ways that you can monetize the content that you're putting out to convert your viewers into customers and all those various things. Well, I'm excited to announce my next challenge is coming up, the Content to Cash Challenge. We're gonna be breaking down everything you need to know to make sure that you crush content this year. No more uploading videos and crossing your fingers. That's not a strategy. And I'm gonna be giving you the mindset, the tool set, and the skill set needed to kill it this year, both on YouTube and on vertical platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and things like that. So I would encourage you to jump into the challenge. And if you get a VIP ticket, I'm gonna be doing live Q&A every single day of the challenge. So I'll get your personalized questions answered on these Zoom calls, and I'd love to see you there. Jump in. The link is in the description and in the show notes. Let's get back into the combo. Dude, I love that though. I think the entrepreneur, the person who already has the business, it's like get your sales skills intact, which has been invaluable. I've been walking through that the last year and a half or so. But for somebody who's like maybe doesn't have anything, you're a W-2, you're saying add value. And I love that, dude, you actually live this still, even at your level.
100%.
You like, if people don't know this, like Neo has called me and has said, what are you doing? Like, I just saw that you did this thing. Like, how do, it like you embody literally what you're saying. So I just want to commend that. Yeah.
And just to give you numbers, so that's $3,000 I'll make every one I sell. In order for it to make $1 million, we got to sell 333 of them. If you divide that by, it's pretty much almost one a day. Yeah. It's not impossible. You're gonna have to rumble to do it. You got to put some effort in. Right. But it's possible. Okay, I can't sell 3 a day. I mean, 1 a day. All right, let's cut this number in half, increase the price point. It's just a numbers game. You just got to get in front of more people. It's funny. I saw you do a post the other day about setting up somebody recipe.
Yeah.
1,000+ comments. If I'm a person, I'm banging every one of them Instagram. I'm hitting everyone that commented, although I'm sure you got some sort of automation set up, but hey, Omar got something special going on with this setting about. Let's talk about it. I'm getting you on a phone call. But now here's
That's
the thing.
good.
I'm gonna do that for Omar. I'm gonna do it for somebody else. I'm gonna do it for somebody else. I'm gonna go get me 5 clients like that. That's $1 million. So that is my motto. If
I love it.
I have no brand, you don't need a brand. I know you talk about building a brand, but what's the quickest way? Learn sales, and you come message me, hey, bro, I want to come do sales for you. I only make money if I close a deal. I don't need you ain't paying me nothing else. This is 100% commission. Most people are not going to say no to you.
Right.
Here's a list of leads. Have your way at it. So that's one of my first ways I'm going to generate income if I have no brand, if W-2, non-W-2, however you want to do it. My second way is I'll probably would do a workshop every week in webinar. So I would identify what am I extremely good at doing? Am I good at sales? Am I good at content marketing? Am I good? And I will put together a workshop, and I would do a virtual workshop, a 90-minute workshop every week for a year straight. And what this is going to do for you, this one thing has done more for me than anything else. Because a lot of people like, bro, you're good at speaking. Some people say I'm really good at speaking. I was not. I was horrible. You know Marcus Y. Roger.
Yeah.
What I used to do with Marcus Y. Roger is, I think I told you, I might have told the story at Myron event maybe, but I was so bad at speaking. People were booking me to speak because of brand, because of the charity, giving back and making a difference. They was booking me to speak, and every time I get a booking, I call him, bro, I got a book to speak. I want to split it with you. Some free, some paid. We were getting like $1,000, $1,500. It wasn't a bunch, right? But I had this concept. I'll have him go speak first. I'll go speak first because I was so bad. I knew I was going to mess it up. And then he's so good. Yeah. He'll come clean it up and they'll forget about me messing it up. That is being resourceful. So that's the other thing for these entrepreneurs. Listen, you got to get resourceful. Like, that's good. I could have said no to all of them jobs. Yeah. I said yes and got better. You get better practicing. So what a workshop does, you doing it every week.
That's 52 reps. I think people want the stage too, but that's create your own stage.
100. Yeah. I'm waiting. No one will put me on the stage. You get on your own. Turn on your phone on Instagram, go live, and you on stage. Yeah. Go on Facebook, you on a stage. Right. You don't need 1 million people. You don't need 1,000 people. It's unlikely that most people are going to get up and speak in front of 1,000 people on a stage. Yeah. It's much more likely because it's a budget. It's a lot of people you need. Instagram, you could get on a virtual workshop, get 500 to show up, 300, 1,000, 2. You could get a whole bunch of people to show up.
That's good.
So I say all that to say, I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking. I feel like
this is really good. I think you're talking. I'm listening.
All right, I just don't. I feel like, dang, I'm doing a lot of talking right now. You're good. So I say all this to say, do a workshop every single week. What this is going to do is going to make you become a better speaker. What it did for me, it made me become a better marketer. And reason why you got to become a better marketer, because you're doing the same thing every single week and you got to get new people to show up. So your content got to get better. You got to come up with new content. You got to come up with new marketing strategies for people to show up to this event, right? You got to get good at Facebook ads if you're not, meaning you going to learn to run these yourself or you're going to get someone else to run them. Good. You got to get good at Instagram marketing. You either got to get good at content that get people to comment and post where you can send them your link. And ultimately, you're going to get good at sales. You're going to learn sales psychology. You're going to learn what to say, what not to say. You're going to learn what's working and what's not working during these presentations so you can adjust them. So I would do that in order for you to do 52 weeks of presentations.
Would you, really quickly, 52 weeks of web classes or 12 3-day challenges?
Yeah, or 12 3-day challenge or 12 5 days. Yeah. I like 5 a little bit better personally for me. But
why is that?
For me, it's the more immersion, more conversion.
Yeah, okay.
I took one of my clients and let's say they made $1 million last year. We did it in a month. So what you did in a year, we were able to do in a month following this model, but more emergent equals conversion. I tell people all the time, the more time someone spend with you, the more money they'll spend with you.
That's really good.
You know what I mean?
How do you balance more immersion versus overwhelming people though?
Overwhelming. Yeah, that's a good question. So there's a mix between sometimes overwhelm is good in the time that you have. Like I want you to feel as though while you with me, I'm getting so much game and I'm getting so much done with the time that I'm spending with you that I never want it to end. So if I'm having you do a 5-day virtual event and I got you doing 2, 3, 4 pieces of homework a day, right?
Yeah.
And after the end of the week, let's say 3 times 5 is 15 pieces of action steps that you had to do. Go live, post in a group, work on your plan, work on your content. You got them doing all of these in 5 days.
That's good.
After that time and that experience, you're like, if I did this much in a week, I don't want this to stop because I feel accomplished. Like imagine coming through what you got going on. At the end of the week, they might got a camera setup done.
Yeah.
They got a post up on social. Their lighting is right. Like they got some things. Your brand story might be together. Like you got, whoa, I don't want this to end. So I think sometimes overwhelmed with game and homework is nice. That's because good. It's like they didn't fluff me. They become a fan of like, he got great content.
That's good.
It's fire.
All right, you were going to do some math, 52 weeks.
Oh, yeah, so 52 weeks. Let's do 52 weeks.
Yes, sir.
So we got $52 million. I'm not the greatest math person, but divided by 52. Is that right? You got to do $19,000 per thing. So it's 52 classes times 19,000. Yeah, that's about right. So that's 19. So let's say if you were selling a $1,000 product, you have to sell 20 of them every single week to make that happen. And if you're going to sell 20 of them
every week, no, just like 4 or 5 a week.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if you were going to do 52 weeks,
okay,
at $1,000. I'm not the best math. So
if you want to make $1 million,
I did $1 million. I did $1 million divided by 52 weeks. That's what I did. That terms the 19,000.
So that's each week you want to hit 19.
Yeah, you want to sell 19 $1,000 products,
right? Or cut it in half if you want to double that price.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, or you could do 10 of them at 2,000, or you could do 4 of them at 5,000.
Yeah.
So you got to choose on what option you want. But if I'm going to do 5,000 at the end of that workshop, I'm having them book a call with me so we could sell you the product over the phone.
Good.
Even if they buy it at $1,000, I'm still having them book a call with me to sell them a higher product. I tell people all the time, as a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. If they buy what you once, they'll buy what you again. And the best time to sell somebody something is after they already bought something.
That's good.
So more of that is like, do that every single week. You're not going to sell 19 of them in week 1. You're probably not going to sell 19 of them for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But then you're going to get so good at it that
it'll be like printing money at some point.
You have a system and a process now.
What are some good tactics to get people to a web class or workshop?
Yeah. So several. One is thing right now that what's working right now for a lot of people is giving real game. So giving real game in 30 seconds or less ideal, because people attention span is short, or a minute or less, where you literally like, all right, 3 ways for you to get your event space. You can find it, funding, or automated. Step number 1 is fine. You want to go on websites like Crexy.com or LoopNet. You're looking for 1,000 or 3,000 square foot commercial space. Step number 2 is fund it. One of the ways to fund it is use OPM, which stands for other people's money. One of the banks I recommend you guys use is Key Bank. They give a $50,000 no documentation loan with minimum interest for you to get started. Step number 3 in the process is called automate. Hire you a virtual assistant on onlinejobs.ph and list the event spaces on Peerspace, Gigster, Verbo. If you guys interested in learning my full blueprint, comment the word this. So now what you just done was you showed that individual that I know what I'm talking about, and I gave that to you in under 60 seconds. But if you want everything I got, comment the word class, XY, link, whatever, and I'm going to teach you the full
breakdown
method.
Yeah.
But now you do that every day. You trying to post one of them every single day until one of them hits. Like your recipe, one thing hit. I'm going to do that one again in another formula.
That's
and
good.
do it again and again and again until you almost got a formula to do 1 or 2 of them a week that goes viral. That can get you 100 registrants. That could get you 200 registrants. That could get you 500 registrants.
That's good.
So that would be one of the ways I would say, like, content creation right now. Because now we're at a spot where you got to earn people's trust.
Yep.
So I've been doing value content forever and been preaching it. Go give away your best stuff for free. Like, everything you got, give it away. And they're like, I'm going to come see you. Second thing is, one of my things that I think people are underutilizing, especially if you got an audience, people aren't going live enough. Like, you should be going live. And you don't need to go live, give an hour class. Go live 10, 15 minutes, give them quick game. Have your mini chat bot set up or a mobile monkey that's comment the word live and they're registering fast for the class. Like, do that every day, 5, 10 minutes. It don't got to be long, just quick in and outs. You got to do what you,
That's
and
good.
then the next thing, of course, is just Facebook ads.
Yeah.
But some people sometimes don't have a budget. So when we were running heavy webinars, one, I don't run the ads myself. I'm not a Facebook ad expert, right? So either
Neither
you
am I.
learn yourself, which I believe you can learn yourself and get extremely good at it, or you got to pay somebody. But most people don't generally have a budget for it.
Yeah.
So because we didn't have a budget, or the reason why we had to get good on social and get good on Instagram, and because we weren't profitable with the cold traffic. So you got to get good on the warm traffic and the social so it can at least even out.
That's good.
So
No, I love that.
Yeah, if you-
you just made it super accessible, and I think a lot of people don't do the live thing because they want it to be perfect, like the heavy edited thing. But
none of that
I have people that signed up for my coaching because of an IG live.
100%.
Because it just the human connection, and then all people need to do is like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. Yeah. I'm in.
100%.
Dude, I love that. And something I think people look at your life now and it looks so, it looks so desirable.
Yeah, facts.
You're a lifestyle entrepreneur, but if you really peel back the layers, you really made it selling this like program on how to get an event space.
Yeah.
Which this idea is not sexy.
Yeah.
It's not a like sexy idea. And I just love how like you stuck with the niche.
Yeah,
like you
100%.
didn't diversify yet.
And I started with, bro, I tell people all the time, like, all you ever have to do is see it. Like, I want to say, I had this guy, Kendall, who I was met here, shout out Kendall, in Atlanta, probably like 8, 9 years ago. Time is going by so fast, I don't know how long time been anymore, but more of the story, this guy was reaching out, like, because I had my event space maybe 7, 8 years now, maybe.
Okay.
So my first one. So he was reaching out like, I want to use your space to host my event. And you know, I need that money. So I just was kind of ignoring him. And I was like, matter of fact, let me go ahead and let you use the space. And I happened to be in town because I was building my brand for years on just having networking events and getting myself out there. And this dude came to my event and he did this whole presentation. At the end, he said, it's just a community where we connect you with this, this, and this. We had calls. I'm like, wait, I've been doing this for free forever.
Wow.
Like, I would go connect you, let's say I connect you with Ty. Y'all go make money, right? And I make nothing out of it. It's just, I've been just doing that forever. Wait, you got a community where they get in your community, they give you $50 a month. They still get to do their connections, make their money, but I get paid now because they giving me a monthly payment.
Wow.
So I saw him do it. And when he got done, I said, bro, I need to do that. I called him the next day. You mind telling me how you did it? Like, what I need to do? Do I need a website? No. Do I need this? No. We use this software, Zoho, for recurring payments. Use a Facebook group and get you a flyer. That was my first, and I took that thing to like $13,000 a month. And I want anybody listening, my biggest mistake in business, well, I got a couple, I won't share the second one, but the first one is not sticking with continuity. Continuity, like, is everything. Like, you should focus so much energy on getting people to pay you a monthly recurring payment.
Oh, okay.
That's the game. Like you should focus on that.
So like better than selling a 12K program, just sell it's $1,000 a month is what you're saying? Or
I think you should have both.
okay.
I think it all depends on your model, because you got to start factoring different things. You got churn.
Right.
I rather have 12,000 up front versus $1,000 a month, because 3-4 months you might opt out of that for it.
Right.
So it depends on the model. But after I get the 12, I still want to put you in some sort of continuity.
Thinking about that after
you're in my
fact.
community and you buy a program. So I'll give people game. People ain't on this. Like, instead of making your course, instead of making your course lifetime, it's annual. So instead of it being 1,000 or 2,000 one time, next year it's 1,000 or 2,000 again.
Yeah.
Big mistake. I lost a lot of money not doing it.
That's
Think
good.
about it in a year,
facts.
because when they're not going to not buy it now, because we're not saying lifetime. Guys, you get access to our program for a year. That's what you need to get to the next level. And next year you get to keep it as well. But it's going to be it recurs.
That's really good.
So imagine you go put 1,000 people in your program in a given year. What if 200 of them stay next year?
You didn't even have to do anything.
We talking about $200,000 that you got
over 5 years. That's $1 million.
That you weren't even going to get at all.
Right. That's fire. That's good.
Yeah, I hope they don't miss that one.
Continuity.
So that's one of my big. So more of the story, I watched the guy do that, and then I just got in the continuity business, and I was just running that for a long time. It was called Circle of Greatness, and then that's when I stumbled. When somebody said, "Yo, you should teach people about event spaces," and then that's when I got into it.
That's dope.
But I made my first multiple six figures all through continuity.
That's dope.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is it." But I didn't. And at the time. Another mistake, me and my guy Matt, they got Queen Warriors. It was fit with Fabi at the time. He went to continuity as well, but we didn't know about no upsells, no downs. We didn't know about nothing. We're running thousands of people through our trials with no upsells, no nothing, man. So it was like, that's why it's so cool that I get to help people and show people now. I'm like, bro, I made so many mistakes and lost so much money. So when I'm telling people to do certain things, it's not, these aren't guesses that I'm telling people to do. This crap works.
And people are skipping out on the time wasted to figure out something that they would have otherwise. Something I noticed, but like that your event space, the way you market it is like a business in a box. Yeah. And it made me think of like, dang, if you could take anything you teach and just turn it into a business in a box. I think I learned, even David Omari, he's taking YouTube and he's selling it as a business in a box. Yeah. And I even, with the studio stuff, I never thought of it that way, but as soon as I say, set up a space that you're not using, put a couple cameras up, and then start a Calendly and just start charging people to use it, you use it for your content. I was like, dang, crazy. I could sell the whole thing as a business in a box.
That's a whole nother angle to make money from. Jeez, that's crazy.
But speaking of like price variation, like you say the $1,000, we're talking $1,000 to get to a million's 1,000, but we can just up the price.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you talk about the mindset of upping the price? Like what justifies somebody being able to charge $1,000 for something and then just being like, you know what, I'm going to charge $5 for it?
I think two things. I think the value that you're giving somebody, and the payoff. Mm-hmm. So, like for me, if I help people, make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, I can't charge you $1,000 for that. Don't make sense. Well, I can, but it doesn't make you should pay what is. If my mastermind, when we were doing my mastermind heavy, it was $55,000 or something. But if you go make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, I still get the short end of the stick in that equation. So you should base your price on what they're getting out of it. Like even my event space, it's still cheap for you getting in just a course for $2,000. I got people, Tanisha Madison, she hit her first $100,000 month with physical event space buildings. That's wild. And she got in a program using PayPal credit, didn't have it. Snap. So it's really that's alone worth 5 to 10 because of once you get in the game, you can make 5 to 10,000 a month. So it's all based on payoff. Yeah. So the reason why colleges probably charge you 40, 60, 70, 80,000 a year, because they're thinking about you're learning this information because this is going to pay for your career. Yeah. So it's going to cost you a lot, but the idea is that, you may be in 100 and 150,000 in debt, but they're thinking, well, you got the next 45 years to pay this off because you're learning this whatever they're teaching now in college. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No shit. I went to college, so I ain't messing on college, but now you can go on YouTube and on the internet if you're not a doctor, lawyer, accountant, and you can learn everything with like rapid speed.
Yeah, no,
and don't
good.
Pay all that money or pay a coach or still pay a lot, but you got the information forever.
Yeah, that's really good.
You don't lose the info. You're going to make money from it next year, the year after, the year after, the year after, the year after.
Yeah, so I mean, so much of the foundational part of, making your first million and just, doing business right is getting these skills. And I know you've talked about multiple times how you invest so much into yourself, 100%. Into your learning, about close to $500,000 a year.
Yeah, more than that. Well, in the last year and a half, or about almost 18 months, I'll say 450,000.
So like that concept, it took me a while to break that. Yeah. And like I guess people would say, why would you spend $450K to invest in yourself? Yeah. Why is coaching important?
Yeah, for me, it's a few reasons. One, I mean, my mom can't teach me this. My dad in jail, he died in jail for murder. Like, he can't teach me this. People I grew up with can't teach me the information. So I got to go out and get the information from people. Bro, I beat myself up daily right now about mistakes I made over just the last couple years with me investing in myself. I'm like, I wish I would have had this information. Wish I had more information on M&A. Like when I start. Like, think about this.
What's M&A?
Mergers and acquisitions, buying business. Yeah. That's just things that I'm studying and focus on now, right? But Russell Brunson has been an entrepreneur probably 20 years or whatever. Him and I started at the same time. I'm around the same time. I started a fruit truck. He started digital marketing. He makes $100 million a year. We make 8 figures a year. But he got the right information a lot sooner. Like, he got the right information 7, 8, 9, 10 more years sooner than me because he had access to the right people, whether it was a coach, whether it was his parent. I don't know who he got the initial information from, but he might have paid for it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, that you can pay somebody. I was getting mentorship. I started a fruit truck because I was taking my grandma to go get fresh fruits every week on a fruit truck. But I learned that from the person who was running the fruit truck. He wasn't making real money. Like, real money is relative. Yeah. He was making money.
Yeah, but
But I mean, like, wait, you can make $1,000 in a day? I didn't know that was a fruit truck. You make $50, $100. Good day, $200. But you still, the cost of the fruit.
Right.
Russell was online selling digital products or
right.
But he had access to the right information. So my biggest thing, what if I was getting coaching in earlier? If I read back when I was younger, I read the 4-Hour Work Week, but I didn't really understand and grasp the idea. Go hire your virtual assistant, then start a business, let them manage the whole business. And I just only knew physical
brick and mortar.
Yeah, just grind it out. Like, yeah, I'm talking about how hard I'm working with my junk removal. I was literally breaking my body down while someone else is learning online stuff. So I pay a coach so I can get there faster, so I can get access to the information that they know, because I would be much further on if I would have started with the right information. If I would have knew about the things, if I knew about buying businesses, if I would have known about equity, if I would have known about real estate, if I would have known about depreciation, if I would have known about cost segregation studies, if I would have known about tech, all these things that I'm learning about, these things from bumping my head, experience, or paying somebody right now.
Yeah.
So I'll tell people, like, and some people don't need a mentor. You go figure all of this out on your own. But for me,
it'll just take you longer though.
Yeah, I'll just like trying to go right to the source and getting it.
And they say, like, the most expensive thing we'll ever pay is not taxes. It's not our house. It's
what you don't know.
It's what we don't know. Yeah.
I'm going to fly into Switzerland in a couple days. I'm going to a summit. 250 billionaires going to be there.
That's wild.
I don't even know what I'm doing in there, but I'll be there. But it's like I'm gonna pick something up that may accelerate where I gotta go. It's costing a lot of money to be a part of this, be there. But how much is it gonna cost me if I don't? When else can I get around 250 billionaires in one room?
Yeah.
Billionaires with a B. You know what I'm saying?
Fire. No, that's big.
So it's like that's what I'm on.
Yeah, and I think that's important, like to get yourself in these uncomfortable situations.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I don't know, think when was the last time you were uncomfortable because of where people were just at a different level.
Yeah.
And yeah, like thank you for like even pushing me in it. I know I was in a moment, literally at Myron's event, and I was like, dang, I've actually never invested in coaching. And my first thing was like 55K.
Yeah.
But when people say like, dude, was it worth it? I mean, the next month I made double the price just from one thing I got from a call.
That's it.
Like, and so.
And that's the key. What happens is when you start paying, because you can go on YouTube and get a lot of stuff. I remember my man, he paid Jason Flatlin. Jason's like my homie now. But he is the webinar guy. He paid him like $30K at the time. Write his webinar, all of this, like, I don't know how many years, 6 years ago or something, maybe 7 years. I don't know, a long time ago, but write the webinar, do it. But it came with like 2 coaching sessions. It's like one of my great friends. And then he's like, bro, I paid this guy, here's the recording. You think I ever listened to the recording to this day? I didn't. It didn't cost me. When you don't pay attention.
Right.
But these things that cost me, I'm executing on them so fast. And even now, my friend do that. I would listen, but I didn't. It wasn't a priority for me to hurry up and listen to it because it didn't cost me anything. Like you probably went and ran plays. You might have heard plays before, but when you departed from that money, let me go ahead and put this in motion a lot quicker. So tell people a lot of times it forces you into action.
Yeah. And that's why you're not investing into that individual. You're investing into yourself.
Yeah. People are like, I just invested it with you. You might have invested with me, but you invested for you.
Right.
And I noticed like I ain't giving up. I'm investing for me.
That's good. Yeah. Dude, that's fire. I love the community that you guys have in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's something I've just never seen before in my life. And I'm just always what I talk about with art, like I feel like I got adopted into this community. Bro, Omar came through and he's, and gets invited to all these things. And people even ask me like, how the heck? And I'll say, I mean, it was that special trip we took. I took with Sean. That's when I met David for the first time.
That's when we start building right there.
Yeah.
Power. Yeah.
Bro, you started breaking down this challenge for me. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. And I said, hey, can I record you?
Yeah.
And you're like, don't share this. And I was like, bet, but you can record me. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And you just broke it down. I was like, dude, I'm around something that I know I need to stick around. And so, no, like, how has your community, like even just your friends and your circle, how has that played a role in your entrepreneurial journey? Have you ever wondered to yourself or asked yourself the question when you watch my content, how the heck does Omar's quality of video look and sound so dang crispy? It's literally the #1 question I get asked, whether it's privately in the DMs or people commenting on my videos on Instagram or even on YouTube. The reality is, I believe the quality of videos that I've been able to produce has been the recipe to my success online. And I want to give you access to my live document where I've listed out everything I use, both for the podcasts I create, to the YouTube videos I make, as well as to what I use for my smartphone to make it look and sound amazing. The reason I put it on a live doc is because I keep this document updated in real time with everything that I'm using. So just head over to thevideodept.co/crispy or just click the link down in the show notes. Let's get back to the conversation.
Just the right community?
Yeah.
I mean, the community is everything, man. Like I host calls now and I just go put people on the call, like, we building together. I don't get nothing out of it. It's just I feel good about helping people get to another level, right? And I just like being around good people, man. And I know iron sharpens iron. We had a group where we would meet every week on Zoom. Here's what you did. Here's what worked for me. And we were just sharpening each other's saw. I think everybody should create one of them groups on their own. Like it's a free pair group where y'all just meet once a week, 2 to 10 people, and just what's working for you, what's not working for you. And if people in there going crazy, doing better, you can't show up with nothing to the table. You ain't got to do what they doing, but now you like, all right, let me go.
That's really good.
Let me get better. I just ran this play. I just did this. I just did that. So it got people in motion.
That's fire.
So I think it's important, man. Just getting around that. Right
How much, like, because like you've made a lot of money. Like at this point, what's your outlook now? Like, I feel like you could probably filter the ways you've made money, and now you're like, no, this is the way I kind of want to go.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I want to get into buying businesses. That's what I want to get into. I want to get into that. I also want to get into some things that, don't require like your personal brand, like how you make money without a brand, like without you personally. So selling to the government, like I'm learning through it all now. Like I'm just studying like what are some things that people are doing that's working. Like I was just in Africa and I was like talking to this billionaire.
What a sentence.
Right, yeah. This dude, man, is so ironic. This dude took us home, took us to the hotel. It was me, Amy, the lawyer, she's amazing. And we were leaving this Afrofuture conference, and he just took us to the spot. It's like, bro, you could bump your head in Africa, in Nigeria, and make $1 million a month. And it's just, now I'm opening my mind and just opportunity, like, yo, Africa's up next. Like, it's just, I'm always looking for what is the next thing. Like, still doing everything we're doing now and doubling down on that, but what's the next thing? And I think having equity in various businesses is going to be something that I want to focus on.
I see that trend from people like that are in their later 30s. They're like, okay, like there are, especially the wave of businesses that are going to die regardless of who is running them and stuff. Yeah.
A lot going to die. A lot of businesses won't ever sell.
Yeah. So, dude, you're really good at your family, your marriage, and prioritizing that. And even,
I could be better at that, though.
We all can. But even just, putting it out there, like opening yourself up, you give back so much to the community. I don't know. It seems like my observation, even from a just straight up friend observation, is that you haven't let the success get to you.
No, I don't think I'm successful yet. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I got this concept. So when I was telling you I had my continuity program, I went from 10 grand, 11 grand, 12 grand, 13 grand. Then it went to 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. It went all the way down to nothing. And what happened was I stopped doing what I did to get me there. And that's what most people do. You hit a target and you stop doing the thing. So I said, God, if you ever get me back here, I'm going to always work hard. So I just haven't ever took my foot off the gas since then, keeping that promise. But the second thing is I got a concept called no scoreboard watching. And what no scoreboard watching is, as soon as you hit the shot or hit the game, you got to get right back to work like it never happened. You celebrate for a day.
That's good.
I just say I just finished speaking, right, on a big stage. ClickFunnels, the biggest stage to date. It was over the next day, bro. I crushed it. It was one of my best speeches ever, but it was next.
Yeah.
Buy a new house. Next. Buy a new car. Next. Crush your event. Next. That's just me. It's just ingrained in me. What's next? You should always be looking forward, because I can't, 21 was up. Like, I don't want to be a has-been. I don't never want to be, I remember like old heads back in the day, your son, we was out here, we was doing, what you doing today? So I'm just at a spot where, and I don't look at me as successful. I feel like I got a lot more work to do to be successful, but success is all relative, right?
Yeah.
To someone else, I will be successful, but I keep myself as I got to get better. I finished speaking today. I'm like, yeah, that was garbage. Crowd, they like that joint good. I'm like, that was like a 4. Yeah. To me, I'm like, that was that was hard. I felt bad about it. All these people coming up, that was the best I ever heard. I'm like, you didn't see nothing yet then for me then, because that was garbage for me. But
yeah,
that's what I'm holding myself to. Like, how do we become better? Like, people get too comfortable where they at. I ain't getting comfortable.
That's good. What would you say is your definition of wealth?
Wealth? That's a good question. I think, if financially, I mean,
I think holistically, your holistic definition of it.
Oh, holistic. Well, holistic meaning not relating it to money?
Just, your all-encompassing idea, like, or I guess another word could be success. Like, if you were to define it.
Success? I think success is not even money. I think success is being able to do what you want when you want and living life on your terms. That's success to me.
Yeah.
So success is if you yearn to be a doctor and you are now a pediatrician, you loving on kids, you doing what you want to do, you're a family man, like, and that's success to you. That's what success is. Success is, to me, success was when I had my fruit truck. I got fired from 10 jobs and I finally got started. I was making it work for me. I wasn't really making no money. I was still giving back. At the time, that was success for me. So I think success is relative to a person's definition. But for me, it's success is doing what you love. That's what it, because I don't do nothing if I don't love it. It ain't even about money. If I don't got a joy in it, I will not do it at all.
I love that you say that. That's honestly a theme because I ask that question, often on the podcast, and the people are saying it's that. It's I have been the word that I've been dwelling on is obsession.
Yeah.
If you get paid to do the thing that you're obsessed about,
right?
It's so natural, and it's that's why the burnout wouldn't happen. And but dude, that's so good. So much insight, dude.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed this episode. Not when I say actually, like I wouldn't, but this is one of my favorite. It seemed real relaxed. Like it's not like, a lot of times we go on drop game. Like it's like I'm teaching, but I felt like I'm giving game, teaching, talking, have a This was
dude,
a good,
I think the growth of the podcast is because of the conversational aspect. I actually did a podcast a couple of days ago with a couple of guys, and I texted them after and I said, hey, you left our conversation to just direct game into the camera. And the reason why the podcast is doing well is because it's just an authentic conversation.
Yeah.
And YouTube can identify that. But I didn't preface it, that.
So you're saying it's better to have not just, all right, guys, let me give you these steps right now.
Don't. And if you're going to do it, like, don't leave this.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why you enjoyed it. I interviewed a guy that I looked up to. His name's Chris Doe. That podcast has like 130,000 views right now.
Yeah, I've seen him.
And
I saw him speak at, I think, Neil Patel.
They're connected. Yeah. But he even was like, dude, we even had an awkward moment. He was talking about the tithe or whatever. And I was like, whatever. Long story short, I left it in. And I think that's why, so I say all that to say, I think that more people who's doing podcasts, they should just have the conversation and just throw it up. But dude, I appreciate it. I know your time's valuable. I know you're going to get out of here. I'm glad we were able to do it in person.
Yeah, me too.
I will.
In person, you do it virtually?
No.
Oh, I ain't doing.
That's why I waited for you to get on.
You got to do it in person.
But like because of the success of this thing, I've been really thinking about this year, and that I really do want to do these like almost tours. I'll just go to a city, and they'll like we'll find a dope spot and just cook. And Atlanta's gonna be one of those, so we can smack a part two.
Yeah, well, I'm down, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, bro.
In Buckhead.
Yeah, in Buckhead at the spot, man. Come shoot at the house.
Go ahead and plug away all the things. Whatever. How do people connect with you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Instagram at Neil Daviso, YouTube Nehemiah Davis. If you guys looking to work with us, partner with Neil.com. mastermindwithneo.com. Just follow me on any social media website. We'd love to be able to help you guys grow your businesses.
Why do you put the O at the end of Davis?
So when I was in college, somebody named me Daviso. I started a t-shirt brand.
Okay.
And we wanted to sound expensive. So it was Neo Daviso. And
that's funny.
It was Neo Daviso. And and we just stuck with it because I got to talk to the Instagram guy, Ty, see if he can help me. But I want my first name, just Nehemiah, on Instagram. So if I can't get my name, I'll drop the whole Neil Daviso brand if I could just get my first name.
Oh, that'd be fire.
Yeah.
Dude, love you. Appreciate your friendship and everything.
Thank you so much for
All right.
Let's go.